Hey guys, I'm Leona, and this is Handicapped and Hot. Today I'm talking to Wise Choice Money. How are you today?
I'm doing good. How are you? Thanks for having
Not
me
too bad.
on.
Yeah, thanks for being on. Do you want me to call you Wise Choice Money, or do you want to go by your real name?
Either one, wise choice money is fine. It doesn't matter.
Okay. I'll probably call you Wise Choice. It's a
That
little
works
bit
fine.
shorter.
That works fine.
All right. Do you mind talking about where you're from?
Sure. Born and raised in Louisiana. Um, I've traveled many places, but I reside in Louisiana still.
All right, not too bad. Are you a Bayou boy?
No,
Yeah, you don't
no,
sound like it.
no.
Definitely don't sound like it. All right. So, let's see. How old are you?
I am 32 years old.
Not bad. I'm older than you. I'm almost 10 years older than you.
Oh,
That's crazy.
wow.
That's crazy. I feel like everybody's older than me pretty much unless they're children, but I'm like starting to realize that's just not true. So,
Yeah, I'm getting up in age and I'm really like, okay, yeah, let me go back to when I was like 10, when I didn't have all of this responsibility, all of these bills.
no way. Not 10 for me. It would have to be 17 for me because then
I
you
would
could
I would I would
drive.
love 10. I would love 10 because 10 was whenever I had most of um the good things happening to me. My mom had placed me into I was a child model.
Oh,
I was a child
cool.
model, so I just wish I could go back to that era and correct
Yeah.
the mistakes that I made because I believe that if those mistakes would have been corrected, I wouldn't even be in this situation right now. I wouldn't even still
Okay.
be here.
Gotcha. That's interesting because my younger son wanted to be a model. And well, both of them did, but my older son, there was just drama with my ex-husband, so that didn't work out. And then my younger son, he ended up like getting older, and when we went the first, like they liked him as soon as we auditioned, and they gave us like a part, but we had a vacation scheduled, and we said we couldn't do it, and then they just never called us back. I was like, oh, that's ridiculous. And then he's just like he's over it now. Now it's
Yeah.
too early for him, so whatever. So let's get into it. Let's talk about it. Were you born disabled?
Um, I was born premature, diagnosed with hydrocephalus at 6 months old.
Okay.
Um, Once that happened, I had to have immediate brain surgery to put a shunt in my head, a VP shunt, to
Wait, let's
circulate.
back up a little bit because I know what hydrocephalus is, but can you explain what it is? Because it's pretty brief. Can you explain what it is for the listeners?
Yeah, basically, it's when you have too much water on your brain and it basically stops everything.
Hmm.
It affects the way you live. Um, Nowadays, there are so many you can go through to basically stop the hydrocephalus becoming life threatening, and which
Hmm.
is what wound up having to go through.
Right. Okay, so you had the surgery, and what was the surgery?
Um,
You were going to explain about the shunt.
yes, they placed a VP shunt in my head, which allows the fluid. It's pretty much like a valve that
Hmm.
allows the fluid to free flow around your brain, and it empties out all the extra excess fluid, empties
Like
out into your
drainage.
correct. It enters into your stomach, which allows your brain not to swell.
Right. So kind of like for me, I think of like those ear tubes they get put in for people who get ear infections a lot. I think they're eustachian tubes. It's similar. It provides the
Yeah,
drainage for
it
that.
is.
Let's see. So that was not from birth, but it was pretty early on. And did that affect you, like starting school, going to school, developmentally?
No, actually, I was in gifted classes my entire
Nice.
life.
Yeah.
Um, School was, I mean, it was difficult because the work was, I was bored. Let's just put it that way. I was bored.
Yeah.
I got bored very early as a child. The work was just, it was just too simple.
Hmm.
So they put me into the advanced classes. Then they wound up, my mother put me into French immersion.
Okay.
I stuck with French immersion all the way through college.
Good.
Graduated college and then had 9 brain surgeries and 2 strokes.
So it's interesting you talk about the stroke. I believe I had a stroke, but I was not diagnosed with a stroke because I didn't let them give me a brain scan. But I did have all the classic like symptoms with the left side. I still have left side. It's not paralyzed or anything anymore, but I do have like problems and less control with my left side. And I have even like people don't pay attention, but if they look at my face, it's like this side is like a little bit different. But and I had speech problems. I couldn't write and things like that right after that. So when you had the stroke, what was that caused by?
Um,
Well, the first one.
I let me see. My shunt had the tubing had eroded and my shunt stopped working.
Mm-hmm.
So they had to actually have an emergency brain surgery. And because of the pressure on the brain, I had a stroke on the table. My blood pressure rose, stroked out. Whole right side um was paralyzed from the neck down. Was paralyzed. It was horrible. I
Right, right.
woke up and just couldn't use my body. It was strange. It was very strange.
Are you able to use your body now? Like you're full both sides?
I can. My right side is still affected. You can still, like you said, the face drooping. You can still tell that slightly if you stare at me.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, my right side is weak. Thank the good Lord that I am left-handed.
Yeah.
Mm, But yeah, that right side is it's weak.
So, what would you say qualifies you as disabled? Do you have any other conditions?
Oh Lord. Besides the 9 brain surgeries and the 2 strokes, yeah, I have neurosarcoidosis.
Mm-hmm.
Um, let's see what else. Yeah, that's all I would like to say on that subject because I have a whole list. We could go for hours.
Yeah, I have a list too, but what for me, I don't actually consider everything disabling. But like, I'm sure if I had disability, that's a whole nother topic. Everyone always thinks I've been on disability, but I've never been on it. But if I did have, like, if I was getting disability, I think a bunch of my conditions would qualify me. But I mean, I take a bunch of medicine every day. And here, I brought some to show you so you wouldn't feel as bad. This is daily. One, two, three, four, five,
Oh wow.
six. This is every
Oh
single
wow.
day. Plus, I still have like nebulizer and things like that that I have to take so I can breathe. And I don't take all my body medicine anymore. So that's like 6 more pills I used to take every day. So it's like every morning I get up, I go to the bathroom, take my pills, and then because some of them are like, so I say I have allergies, but it's not like sneezy allergies. I have those too, but I have like life or death allergies to a lot of things. So I have to take 4 different prescriptions every single day, plus Benadryl like throughout the day, because there's just no way I come into contact or I don't come into contact with anything I'm allergic to. So it's medicine too. I just was in the hospital, and you guys know because Daniel was talking about it, but the end of January, and they gave me a medicine I was allergic to, and it was like, what the heck? And it was an antibiotic, but you know how there's like shortages and stuff everywhere.
Yeah.
So they had to give me a substitute, and the substitute I was allergic to, and I was like, something's wrong. Like my arm's like itching, it's kind of burning, and they're like, no, it's fine. I was like, I'm telling you. They're like, it's been too fast. I was like, I think I'm allergic to this. They're like, no, it's been too fast. I was like, I have a high metabolism. I'm telling you right now, I'm allergic. We look down because you know you have the gown, and like I'm small, so the gown is like hangs lower than like where the IV and stuff is, and we pull it up. Of course, it's turning red. It's like, I still have like a mark from it. And that's ridiculous. And it's always like something new that I find out. So I have to take pills all the time. And people are like, there's no way you're allergic to all these things. I'm like, look. It's a real thing, and I can die at any minute. So I have to take medication. And it's not something where, like, I could just stay inside and wear a mask or whatever. Like, there's food, there's animals, there's, even if someone has like a Halls cough drop in the room with me, my voice will go away and my throat will start to swell like within seconds of being around it.
Oh
I'm
wow.
inhaling it. Yeah, it's like when I tell people it's scary, it's scary. So, yeah, I got to be careful. But the stroke thing, yeah, that was pretty tough. I actually got that from when I had my first son. I have a bunch of, I'm just like a, I don't know. I'm like a medical anomaly sometimes. So
Oh, so you're
my
like a bag
mom,
mix.
what?
You're like a bag of trail mix.
No, because there's nuts in there. Nuts, peanuts are deadly for me. So, but no, like I was there, my mom and stuff, and we were like, hey, listen, like she's gonna need this and that, and they're like, no, no, she's fine, she's young, and it always was. That's always the thing. Oh, but you're young, yeah, whatever, man. Young people
Yeah.
die too. So I'm there. They gave me the epidural. They did that wrong, and that caused swelling of my like in the spinal cord area. And so after all that, all these bad things happened to me. I ended up with extremely high blood pressure. It's funny that everybody talks about Daniel having it. He is the healthiest person. It's ridiculous. He has no problem. He's never had high blood pressure. I had it and had to take like 3 medications for it. I learned how to control it and control myself. So now I took myself off. They still want me on, but whatever. Only time it goes up is like when I'm like, excited in a good or a bad way. But I had
Mhm.
to deal with that, and then you have other things that come along with it, which is like neurological issues and stuff. So when I'm talking, I forget things a lot. I hate that. I can't remember words. When I was in that like stroke situation, my mother-in-law at the time didn't speak English. So when she came to help me, she was speaking Spanish to me, and I couldn't understand her, which was so weird because I'm fluent in Spanish. I've been since I was a little kid. And I had no idea what she was saying. It was the scariest thing. And the face she made at me freaked me out because it was just weird. I couldn't write. I could read a little bit, but it was really, it was pretty crazy. I just felt like, I don't want to say a bad word, but I just felt like something was really wrong with me. And it was pretty tough. I was stuttering, like all kinds of crazy stuff. And I still have, if I overexert myself now, I've got like I'll drop stuff. I won't be able to hold things, like especially on my left side. So I try to like move my left side a lot to keep it going, especially like my face. It sounds weird, but like I'll smile more like on one side than the other to try to like match them.
Balance it
You know what
out.
I mean?
Yeah, balance it out. Yeah.
Yeah, balance it out and stuff. It's just like little things that people don't realize. But it's tough. So with your other conditions besides the brain thing, is it visible? Is anything
Uh,
visible?
with the neurosarcoidosis, it basically took out my left eye.
Oh wow.
Yeah, my left. I mean, I woke up and you know how you feel. One morning, I went to sleep, woke up in the morning, and I told you know how you feel like there is, um,
Which one? Oh, which one?
I'm sorry, hang on one
No,
second.
it's okay. We
Uh,
all have life to live.
yeah, someone just popped up at my house. That's all. Um, where was I? Oh yeah. So with the neurosarcoidosis, it attacked my eye, and it's like I woke up one morning, and you know how you have that feeling where you have like an eyelash in your eye. Well, I rubbed it, and my eye exploded. So I
Whoa.
basically had to have that taken out, and that's pretty much the only part of me that would be visible from a disability.
Do you have like a glass eye or a patch?
Yes, I actually just got the glass eye last week.
Mm-hmm. Are they I mean I've seen that before, but are they better now than they used to be?
Yes,
Okay, that's
so
good.
much better.
I well, thank God for that, right?
Right?
Well, that's cool. So, are you getting used to it? How long have you had it?
Um, Probably about a month, I believe. It is so weird to have that inside. It's oh my god, it's a foreign object, and I swear
Yeah.
it is just. You know how you try to hide that disability because you don't want someone to call you disabled or believe that you are disabled. I strive to not be labeled as a disabled person,
Yeah.
and hiding that is one of the hardest things I've actually had to try to do, was
Yeah.
hide that I.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I hear you. You know what? I personally, like, I don't know how you're going to feel about this, but if it were me, I would wear sunglasses all the time. Because, I mean, I used to do that. I had this is
I have
nothing near what happened
I
to
have
you. So,
50 pair. I have
yeah.
50 pair of designer sunglasses that I
Yeah.
even whenever it's cloudy and raining like it is right
Yeah.
now,
Yeah.
I'm wearing sunglasses.
Yeah, I used to, well, I didn't used to. Well, it seemed like a couple of things happened to my eye, and it kept being the same one, like my eyelid. of course, I'm allergic to honey and bee stings. So I got stung in class one time. I've only been stung twice, so that's how I know. But I got stung in my eyelid. My eye swelled up so huge.
And your eyelid?
Yes,
Oh
because I
my
told
gosh.
them we were doing gym outside, and I'm like, guys, there's a bee, there's a bee, there's a bee, and this was, I was a little kid, so we didn't know that there was a bee allergy. We just thought that the first time I got stung, I was just like, I just had a reaction, not that it was an allergic reaction. So that was a hospital visit when I was like a little, like a toddler, but we didn't know it was an allergy. So later on, I just like nobody wants to get stung by bees. When you're a little kid, you run away just because that's what you do. So
Oh,
we went
not
outside.
me. I did the total opposite.
Well, I mean, okay.
I ran and clapped them out the air and knocked them out.
No, no, I just remember there was a problem with bees, but that's because something happened to me already. I just didn't like know what the issue was. So, we're doing like toe touches. This was, before when I could do them. We were doing like toe touches. So like my head was going up and down, and we were swinging your arm. You have to go like that, and when you go your head down. So I was like, guys, there's a bee, and I told the teacher. She was like, just ignore it, it'll be fine. I was like, it's not ignoring me. It's not fine. And it stung me in my eyelid. My eye swelled up, and they didn't know to take the stinger out, and the reaction would continue. And it stayed like that for like a couple of weeks. I had my mom buy me an eye patch and everything. It was horrible. So if
Wow.
something happened to my eye, like I don't really rub my eyes because that like I just have issues with that. But anyway, before we continue, let's say hi to some of our commenting guests. Malafella, he was first. He was great. He came on at 11:54 and said greetings. And I asked him, yeah, he's cool. I like that guy. He really is like mellow. That's the perfect name for him. Like when he
Like
talks, he sounds like a BLS radio host for the nighttime. He's so
that's
cool. He's a really nice guy. Chris Cruz, hey. And then we got Jason Hayes and John Cano. Hi, guys. So,
Hi guys. Thanks for being here.
yeah, yeah, definitely. So, yeah, for me being handicapped, it's a little awkward. Like, I, I like to just be regular. I really do. But so like when I got to a point like me calling myself handicapped and hot, that was my way of making myself feel better about being disabled, because
Yeah.
nobody really said disabled when I was younger. It was like handicapped, and then there were other terms, and it was all like
Handicapped
mixed.
and disabled are so taboo words.
Well, handicapped, it was very all encompassing. So the term I'm gonna say is like, remember there was the little yellow school bus. Do you
Yes.
remember the term for those
Yes.
kids? So they'd be like, oh, that's the handicap bus, or that's the
Hmm.
blank bus with the
Yep.
blank kids on it. The word starts with an R. There was no real distinction. And then when you did see somebody like in a wheelchair or something, they were pretty jacked up. So and no offense to any of those people, I wasn't born into that. Besides, like with my breathing issues, which can be disabling in and of themselves. But besides that kind of stuff, the allergies and the breathing stuff and like that, I could do things. So like I would run and then have asthma problems, but I could
Eh,
run. Like now I can't run.
you
Like,
run with asthma?
well, there's different levels of it, but I was a fast kid, but my chest would be burning after, and I'd have to take my inhaler, whatever it is, take the nebulizer. But yeah, so like, but I physically can't run now. Like, if there's an animal that's gonna get me, it's gonna get me. Like, and I know, hey, peanut butter. His name's really Terry, by the way. Everybody, he told everybody, and I remember his name now. He's
What's
in the
up,
comment.
peanut butter?
Yeah. So my son, my 14-year-old, he swears that he's my father now, that he's a little older, and he just like we'll cross the street and he's like yanking me by the arm. I'm like, look, let me tell you something, pal, child. If you pull me too much, I'll fall. And if I fall in front of the cars, I have way more of a chance of getting ran over than if I just walk a little slower than you. Like, you're gonna have to relax. He's like, you're
Yep.
gonna get hit by a car. You didn't even look both ways. You gotta hurry up. I was like, I can't though. And he doesn't, he doesn't get that. Um, let's engage. We got well, so wait, does it affect your mobility at all?
Not
The
really.
Hydra?
I used to be, I used to be an athlete until my,
To the eye.
I believe, second surgery.
Oh,
Um,
oh,
then the doctors decided, hey, listen, no contact sports. You can't play basketball. You can't play
yeah.
football. You just can't. One
Yeah.
hit can kill you.
I
So
was
yeah, that
surprised they
changed.
let you do that at all, to be honest.
Well, they honestly didn't. I just I don't limit myself based on some disability that a doctor labeled.
Yeah.
I understand that I have this condition, but I
Mhm.
am not going to allow it to stop me doing from whatever I want to do and achieve my goals in this world.
My mom was not like that. She let me play a little bit of soccer and basketball, but that's because my best friend's dad was the coach and it was a very small school. She wouldn't let me do anything. I wanted to play football. She was like, no. I wanted to be a cheerleader. She was like, no. But then I concurred with her about the cheerleading because I found out, like, if you're small, that you're going up in the air. And this girl I knew, she broke her leg twice in 1 year and her arm. So I was like, nope.
I know that's right.
um, what'd you say?
I said I know that's right.
Yeah. All right.
That's a
So
dangerous sport.
Melfella Crypto said his mom has polio. The thing is, he didn't know until, well, I'll just read it in his way. My mom has polio. Thing is, I didn't know until I was in my late teens after a fall that triggered mobility issues for her. Yeah, I think polio was like really, really bad
Oh yeah.
back in the day. And then they figured out a way to make it not as bad for certain people. But and then he says she says she's handy capable, not handicapped. And yeah,
Hey,
that's what you gotta do. I say I'm handicapped and hot. Like, it just helps. And when I was out, so I made a bling cane for myself. If you guys don't know what that is, you should. I put rhinestones all around this cane. And when there were special occasions, I brought it out. And everybody's like, oh my gosh, you're such a cool handicap. Like, literally talking to me like that. And they were like, um, I've never seen a handicap like you. And I'm like, what does this
what
mean?
does yeah?
Who
What does
talks
that?
like that?
What
Yeah.
does that even mean? What is a handicap?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. We had this like
Uh oh.
perception of it. Are you okay?
And she is gone. Are you there?
Ooh. Yeah, I can hear you. Can
Okay,
you?
awesome. Froze for a minute.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sometimes that happens. Um, I forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah, yeah. This is what we had, like this idea of what handicapped is, and I had to like make a shift mentally to get over it because it got to the point where I couldn't do things. I didn't used to go out um, with my cane. So it's pretty crazy, but I used to ask people to hold on to me and I would use them like as a human cane. And like if we went to a club, I didn't dance or anything, but I would walk in with them And then they would walk arm in arm with me and then sit me down somewhere, and I'd be like, yeah, whatever. But if I had to go to the bathroom or anything, like they had to walk me to the bathroom, and it was tough. And then one day I was just like, you know what? Who cares? Like one day I got stuck somewhere. It was yeah, story time, guys. So I went out to like there's like a Jersey Shore little beach club or whatever. So I went there with friends. One of the girls, she walked with me, and then there was a bunch of us, and she like ditched me. She asked this guy that we had met that night. His name is Vic. We went. We were all there, and she was like, "Hey, can you take her for a minute?" As if I was a baby, and I get it. I was like a burden, but I didn't realize I was because my friends were really, really cool. Shout out to the friends who helped me out with that. But she was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go to the bathroom," and then she left. She ditched me, and I was like, "Oh my gosh." He was like, "Is your girl coming back?" And I'm like, "I guess." Like, and I felt so uncomfortable. I was like, "Oh my gosh, I don't know what to do. Like, I'm ready to go." So this guy Vic, he was really nice. He was like, "All right, yeah, I'll take you back." So I had my cane back at the shore house. So we went, and he walked me the car. Blah blah blah. Long story short, so he and I are still friends to this day. But after that, that's when I was just like, I can't do this anymore. If I want to go somewhere, I have to just bring my cane. And so I'm not in that situation. Because had she left me like at a stool, a bar stool, or whatever, I would have been stuck. Because like I can walk without my cane, and even this was years ago. I could walk then too, but there's stuff that's uneven. The ground's uneven. Somebody like I couldn't walk that far without leaning on something. So that was pretty tough, and that was my moment where I was just like, all right, I'm doing this. I'm gonna be handicapped, and then I just started saying, I'm not handicapped. I'm handicapped and hot, and I'm not disabled. I'm handicapped and hot, and then that's how that went for me, and that's good. That's what you got to do though. Like whatever you got to do to keep yourself positive about yourself.
Yeah,
We got
I agree.
another comment. Hmm?
I agree.
All right, let's see. We got peanut butter here. He said, I have asthma, bad, but I've been able to, I think he means do most things I wanted. Used to run a 4.4 40-yard dash. I remember the 40-yard dashes.
Ooh,
Also had a martial arts studio for years. Oh, you're a beast, peanut butter. And traveled USA and Canada and was able to teach tons of people. Cop SWAT, pretty cool. Homeland Security, Army Ranger, Green Beret. Wow. Green
go ahead,
Berets, Black
peanut
Ops.
butter.
Canada sheriffs and peacekeepers, all with asthma, had to learn how to end things fast. What a savage peanut butter is.
Right?
Wow. All right. And then we got over here, John Cannell. The VA has me listed as unemployable, so early retirement. Good for you with the early retirement, I guess. But peanut butter, man, who knew? This guy is a beast. And
Right.
now he like does hair and like women's hair. He was talking about the other day. He has a salon and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. Yeah, asthma it can be, you can work with it, but it can be deadly for some people. Like I'm the kind of person, I control mostly everything I do, so you won't really see me getting like excited or wild because I learned years ago that emotions affect my asthma. They're triggers. So if I'm pretty chill or cool or whatever, I'm fine. But I can have an asthma attack, I'll pass out, like different things like that. So I have to really be careful with it. But let's go back to like our state of mind. I really with because I've had like body problems over the years besides the asthma and things like that, like a knee and back problems. And like I wasn't fully diagnosed when I was younger because I do have rheumatoid arthritis, and I have scoliosis, and I have what's the other thing? Spinal stenosis. So for me, that is my spinal canal is too narrow and it squeezes my neck, which causes pain. And I never felt bad or depressed. I did feel embarrassed. I'm not gonna lie, but it's just like I was okay with it, especially when I had that switch with being disabled because I did have to use I had to go to physical therapy. I'd have therapists come to the house 3 times a week. I had to go to physical therapy as well for like, I don't know, 15 years, all kinds
Did you
of
go
stuff.
to? Did you? I'm sorry to interrupt. Did you go
No,
to speech? Did you have speech therapy as well?
No, I just was determined to do everything I could. So I just like I watched stuff. I started putting TV on like the Spanish channels and the captions. I just was like a pusher, you know. I was
Hmm.
like, I don't really care if you guys give me a diagnosis. That's why I didn't let them give me the brain scan because I felt like that probably would have made me not sink into depression, but made me like discouraged because I'm not a
Yeah.
depression person,
You
but I
see, I
think it
am.
would have discouraged me.
You see, I am. When I was diagnosed with everything, and then everything hit me back to back.
Hmm.
I graduated college, and I remember like yes, it was yesterday, and this is damn near 10, 15 years ago. I graduated college. I walked the stage, proudest moment of my life. Was getting ready to hop into a job, and I mean, I had the job sewn up. And 3 days after I walked the stage, boom, had 10 grand mal seizures back to
Oh my
back.
God.
And I had to go straight into the hospital, have one brain surgery, got out 2 months later, had another one. And every 2 months at that point, I've had a brain surgery. And then my final two were the two strokes.
Mm,
And at that point, I told myself, I think it's time for me to understand that I have a disability
mm,
and I need to find a way to accept it and I
right.
need to find a way to achieve what I need to achieve. And lo and behold, crypto popped out.
Oh, nice. So how long ago was that?
That was 3 years ago, I believe. We're in 20,
Nice.
we're in 2024. Yeah, 3 years ago.
No, we're in 2023.
We're in 2023. Okay, yeah,
Slow
2 years
down,
ago.
wise
Two
choice.
years ago.
But that's good. How about how's your family been like when you were going
Uh,
through that? Do you have siblings and stuff or?
as far as my two older sisters, um, they weren't too concerned until about the second brain surgery.
Mm,
Um, my sisters are older than me. They all have families. Like I said, one's in Texas, one's in California right now. They just they didn't have any issues at first, but once they saw that my health was deteriorating to a deadly level,
mm,
that's when they had issues. My father was never in the picture. He left when
mm.
I was 8, so yeah. But my mother took the brunt of all of the emotion because, well, hell, she's my mother, and it actually affected her more towards the end and in a long term stance because she fought off COVID twice trying to help me. I don't know if I said it before, but I'm just getting out of the hospital 2 days ago from
Yeah, you
having.
didn't say it on live, but you did say it before.
Yeah, I wound up one morning. I called my mom and said, "Hey, listen, I'm headed to the hospital. Something's going on with me." And she met me at the hospital. And the last thing I remember was taking a sip of water. And she said, I fell down and hit the back of my head on
Mm,
the concrete. And yeah, I was out.
yeah,
And
that's tough.
basically, all they had that there was the tubing that I talked about had eroded, and they had to go in there and fix the little piece of the tubing.
They should know that though, that there's a time period for it, like
There
before it
is, but this
expires.
there is a time limit, but because this is like my 10th shunt revision, um, they just basically telling me that, hey, we're gonna have to put a brand new shunt in, and that's gonna last you for another 10 years. So
Mm.
I'm basically waiting on them to tell me when I can have this massive surgery.
Hmm.
You know, so yeah, the pain and the memory loss from the strokes. You
Yeah,
know,
I have a lot of memory loss.
like it's funny because when I tell people that I have memory loss or that I am in fact disabled, they look at me because on the outside I don't portray myself as someone who has any issues, you know.
Yeah.
So when I let them know, hey, listen, this is what I'm dealing with, they're like, wait, what? And I don't know. It's I don't know.
Yeah, no, I hear you because I have a cane, but people see me walk with it and I don't have a very prominent limp. If I don't use my cane, then I have a prominent limp, but the whole point of the cane is to not have the limp. It's like a crutch. Like if you used your broken foot, you'd have a limp, but when you don't use it and use the crutches, you're fine. Because I went from the walker to the cane with the big prongs on the bottom to the smaller cane with the smaller prongs to a regular cane. They wanted me to have those like cuff canes. I don't like those. I was like, no, then I'm gonna look really handicapped. No thanks. Like, let's go through this. But I had to do training to use the cane, like to use the cane the right way so that you don't have a limp. But then there's people who be like, oh, you don't even use a limp. Well, no, I mean, you don't have a limp when you walk. I'm like, no, I don't, because I walk with it the right way. But I also learned to adapt so that, like, when I do use my cane, if you watch me, I don't lift the cane very far off the ground so that I don't have to shift my weight very much. I also don't move the cane that far because I'm short to begin with, so my strides are not long. So why would I put the cane way ahead of me so then I gotta like hobble? That hurts my back, hurts my neck, hurts my shoulder.
And then you
So
risk a
like I
fall.
figured it out. Yeah, exactly. So when you see people hobbling around with a cane because they don't know how to use it, like I figured out how to do it. I do what I got to do the right way, and I make adjustments there. But yeah, I don't. I think with the cane, people know something's wrong with me, but they always assume like they assume they can ask me like, well, what happened to you? Why do you have that? And it's like, well, I don't even know you. Why are you asking me that? Why do you care?
Right.
We all have nosy moments, but you got to keep it to yourself sometimes because I don't mind telling people. I do minimize like what happened. I'll just be like, oh, I have a bad back. I used to say I have a bad back. Now I'll just say I was paralyzed 20 years ago. And they're
Yeah.
like, whoa, at least you're walking. Yeah, yeah, thanks.
Yeah. See,
Bye. Like,
it's the stairs that actually get me. When I first came out
mhm.
of the hospital from the brain surgery, I wasn't mentally there. My brain was so slow at working to the point to where somebody could talk to me, ask me a question, it would take me 5 minutes to reply. And then they would just stare at me. Like, what's really going on with you? And then when I lost my eye, they really started to stare. And it's
Mm,
like you can tell when somebody is staring at you because of your disability, and
I always can't, but I'll get to that in a minute. Go ahead.
I stare right back at them, and I wave at them and I say, "Hey, how you doing? What's the issue? You're in my face. I figured you wanted
Yeah.
to talk to me or something. How you doing today?
Yeah.
It's so aggravating." And then they tell me, "Well, what's wrong with your eye?" And I'm like, "Well, for one, it's not there.
Oh, gosh.
For one, it's not there." And I laugh at my mother because she's so used to me having two eyes to the point to where she'll get on my left side where I have absolutely no eye, and she'll hand me something without saying anything.
Oh,
And then I'll turn to her and I'll be like, "Yeah."
really?
She's like, "Here it is." And I'm like, "Yeah, no eye. Thank you. No eye. Thanks for reminding me. That is so wonderful, mother."
Yeah, you gotta hand it to you gotta love it. Family, they always give it to you like that.
Oh yeah,
They mess
I
with
love
you.
my mother.
Yeah, they act like nothing's wrong sometimes, or they'll mess with you. Like these guys are always making fun of my memory. They'll be like, "Oh, do you remember blah blah blah?" And I'll be like, "No, Bill, of course you don't. Of course you don't."
Like
But like for
my
me,
memory's crazy because this conversation that we're having, you give me 2 hours, it never happened.
well, for me, it's weird. Like this one, I might remember, or I'll remember parts of it, but I can always go back. Like I'm pretty good at remembering whether or not I said something because I know that I don't usually talk a certain way. So
Yeah,
there's that. But now I forget stuff all the time. It's horrible. I have every notification for everything. I mean, except for like my pills. But if I get a new pill that's not a regular everyday added pill, if it's just like you got to take this for 2 weeks or whatever, then I'll put a notification in for that. But
yeah. I
I
put a
would say
notification
that
in
the
for
same.
everything.
Yeah. for the staring, it's funny that you said that whole high thing. I don't do that, but my we went to visit my sister like a couple of years ago, and we were flying back here because she was gonna come visit us after. Like, I guess these people were staring, but I ignore most of the people, and I don't pay attention to everybody and everything. And these women were staring. So my little sister out of nowhere, she's like, "Hi, good morning, how are you?" Blah blah blah. And I was like, "What are you doing talking to these randos?" And she's like, "They were staring, so they must want to talk to us."
Exactly. If you're staring, even when I'm driving, if you're staring at me, I'm going to roll down my window, wave at you, and start a conversation whether you want to or not.
No, I'm too shy for that. So like I'm okay with certain things. Like I said to you backstage, like I can like click, make the switch and turn it on.
Yeah,
But that switch doesn't go all the way, you know what I'm saying? I'll go like halfway with my switch. So if people stare, like I'm used to people staring at me. I think it's because I'm a girl, whatever, because they're attracted to me or whatever. But there are other because I had people stare at me even before I ever had the cane. But then now, I assume it's the cane, and then sometimes it's just the dude being a perv. So
that's
I'm
that's
used to
where
it.
that's where Daniel steps in. That's where he
No,
steps in and goes, "Hey, who are you looking at?"
no, we only had one moment like that where he ever had to, like, he was about to fight this guy for staring because he was disrespectful. He didn't say anything, but he literally was looking at me like a wolf staring at meat. And we were at the beach with the boys, and one of the boys was a baby. And I don't walk around half naked. I have a cover up, I'm not like wearing the Brazilian bathing suits or whatever, with everything hanging out. So it was definitely weird that he was going that far because there was a bunch of flesh everywhere else, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And then it was like me with kids and a husband, like, or he was my boyfriend at the time, whatever, us walking. So it was weird that he was going that far with it. But whatever, this is what people do. But other than that, no, because he works a lot. So when I am walking around, it's usually with the kids, my nieces over the years, and my boys or whatever. So they had to get used to it. The kids, where they're just like, "Well, Auntie Ona," because that's what some of them call me. They were like, "Why is that guy staring at you?" And then after a while, they get used to it, and it's just like whatever. But I never would say anything to anybody. It's just awkward. But so
see,
like,
I used to be the quiet type, and then lo and behold, I met my fiance who is in the military,
mm,
and she's one of those women who, let's just say, if I was a woman, she would be my man. She is tough. That is one tough chick. And I remember we were in the mall, and she wanted me to get some type of dress for her. And this woman was staring me down. And I guess that was her boyfriend that came and started to question me about, my eye and my stroke, and like, why does my face look so weird?
mm,
Listen, that woman fought that man in the store.
oh goodness,
Fought that man. Like, yeah,
guess that'll do it.
yeah.
All right, I wanted to get into the mindset a little bit more. So I was saying I've never really dealt with depression and things like that, or like I never really cared about people's opinions enough, for like it to really affect me internally. But how about you? Have you dealt with it? Like, have you ever dealt with any depression or? Yeah.
Yes, actually, I do. I
Oh, you
suffer.
still do?
Yes, I
Okay.
suffer from suicidal depression. From basically all of the tinkering in my brain. They
Mm,
pretty much scrambled my brain to where's uh, my emotions are off the charts now,
mm,
and my depression uh, got pretty bad. I've had a couple of attempts happen where I've had to actually check myself in because I've needed to get help. And when it comes down to the depression, I always felt as though that was a me thing. This is how I feel, and I need to stop believing what the world says.
Hmm.
and live my life. And I am still not at that point. I
Yeah, but
am
it's good
not
that
as
you recognized it. You
I
know,
am not as strong as you. I have to admit that. I am not that strong. I
listen,
still,
we
I
have
still will fight someone in the middle of the street, broad daylight.
look, if you can, then cool. I mean, listen, when it comes to fights, let it be known, I'm going to fight dirty. I'm 120 pounds. I got a ruptured tendon in my shoulder. I got spinal cord problems, neurological issues. I need surgery on my knee. I'm not fighting fair because it's never going to be a fair fight. So
Nope.
let it be known. Anybody out there, I'll cut somebody. No,
I mean, I fight fair. I fight fair to a certain
no, it's not going
to
to
a
be a
certain
fair fight
extent.
for me.
I do a fair fight because I'm short. I'm only 5'5".
Yeah.
So, I fight fair to a certain extent. Once
Oh
you
boy.
once you get my anger up there, there is no stopping. I see red and I'm done.
No, I used to be like that. Not that I ever like really had fights. I had like a couple ever, and they weren't like that long. It was nothing serious, but you gotta get that under control. But with the depression and the suicidal thoughts, it's good that you had the presence of mind enough to go talk to someone, get help, and do what you need to do. It's a journey for everybody. Whatever you're going through, though, usually you don't just get to like deal with it and be done with it. You usually have to keep dealing with it, and you get to the point where you move past it, but it's still a thing. Like
Yeah.
I'm still uncomfortable having to deal with all this crap. I hate, even like Daniel will forget that I have certain issues and I have to remind him, and I don't even like reminding him of it. Like I'll be like, I have problems, remember? Like, or I have a bad
Yeah.
memory, remember? And I don't like to even say it out loud, but
Yep. I agree. I'm the exact same way. I am the
yeah,
exact
it's tough. So how about like with your eye now, do you feel more comfortable walking around without glasses? Do you feel more comfortable with your appearance?
I do. I do.
Okay,
I
that's
do.
good. That's good.
It's boosted my confidence a little bit knowing that there is actually something there.
Hmm.
But yeah, I mean the depression will always be there until I can get over it.
Yeah,
But yeah, I mean, I feel better.
you can keep working on that. Like I said, that's not like I know people like to pretend that stuff is quick and it and the strength. I know you said like I'm a lot stronger. Well, you don't really know that. I just have a different strength than you in this situation. You gotten your brain surgery. You have brain surgery so many
But
times.
that's on the that's
That's
on
a
the
lot of strength.
inside. That's on the
On the what
inside.
side?
You're on the inside. Your strength, you know, it man, when I tell you what you spoke on about having the strength, about not caring about what people think, and you know that's something that I've always tried to instill in myself,
Hmm.
being that I don't have a big circle. I don't keep a big circle. um so I really don't try to lean on people. I am quote unquote the Dr. Phil to all of my friends.
Well,
So
that
they
can be
put
very cumbersome for you.
they put their problems on me, and that actually does help me focus on something other than my problems.
Okay.
But then I have an issue where I try to save the world. I try to help them out, and then
You
I
have the
get
Jesus complex? Oh
oh,
no.
uh, you have no idea. I honestly want to help as many people in this world as I can before I pass. I
Okay.
honestly just want one person to tell me, "Hey, you helped me," before I die. And in Louisiana, we have a massive, and I'm sorry to switch the subject, but we do have a massive homeless issue.
Hmm.
And I don't understand how you can actually, and I'm sorry to switch the subject, but I don't understand how you can be in America a vet or not a vet and homeless and no one does anything to help you.
Yeah,
And
that's
I
tough.
and I just want to be out there to help people like that, anyone in need, and let that be my legacy. I
Hmm.
don't want, my birthday and that dash in between my death date to mean absolutely nothing. I want that. dash to actually mean something. That dash is actually the most important part on your tombstone.
Mm-hmm.
That tells people what you did in between your birth and your death. And I just really want to help someone who is
Wow.
in need, and
Yeah.
I want to place them into a better situation where they can actually do something for themselves and help themselves out of their current situation.
Well, that starts with you, though. You have to work on yourself and make sure you're in the position to help someone else. Because you don't want to like try to pull somebody up when you're not high enough or you're not in a good enough position. Let's say, for example, you're on a stool or you're on, like a step ladder and you're trying to pull somebody up and then you both fall and you knock the ladder down and then you break a bone. So I know it's like a bit of a wild analogy, but you get what I'm saying.
Yes, I
You
do.
you got to make sure that you're good before you try to
Before you help
benefit
someone else.
other people and their situations.
Put your
So
put
it's a
your
good.
face put your face mask on first before helping your passenger.
Yeah, yeah. And in this case, work
I don't do that.
on. Yeah, yeah, you have to because that's
I don't
that
do that.
that could
I
mess you up.
always I
Yeah,
always
you gotta
think
be
of
careful.
myself last.
Hmm.
I'm always going
And
to think of myself last. I have that quote unquote mother complex.
yeah, even with moms though, you still have to be careful. I mean, with kids, that's okay to do when they're children. But as they start to get older and become young men and young women, you have to, for the good of you and them, you have to explain to them that, listen, it's time for you to do some things by yourself and it's time for you to learn to wait while I do this. Because if all I do is feed you and I never eat, I'm going to die. And then you're not going to be able to eat because I didn't even teach you to cook. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, yeah, these things have to. You got to address these things. We got a comment from Peanut Butter, and he said he can. I can teach how to do to the dirties. I guess I can teach you how to do the dirtiest fighting of all. The only fair fight is you living to go home to your loved ones. Yeah, that's true because we were talking about that before.
Yeah,
I
that's true.
told you, everybody, I'm fighting fair. If you want to comment to everyone where they can see it, you don't go in the private chat. Wise
Um,
choice. You got to go in comments.
okay.
Yeah. Um, and then Chris Cruz says, "From a vet, I admire that of you, wise choice money." Yeah, how many of you are vets? We should ask that probably on Daniel's because he
Well,
gets more
it won't
insight.
let me. It won't let me comment at all.
Oh, I don't know. I told you I don't remember what it looks like on the other side.
Chris Cruz, thank you
I'll
for
figure it
your
out.
service, my brother. I really do
Yeah,
appreciate it as an American. I do appreciate that. You went out there and you risked your life for our freedom as an American citizen. I do owe you my respect, and I thank you very much for
yeah,
your
Chris
service.
Cruz, thank you. And I think John Cano said he's he said the VA, so that's a Veterans Association, I think. So thank you guys for sure. Yeah, I think that talking to people about my disability is helpful for some people, not necessarily me, but definitely other people I've spoken with. And oh, this is actually my friend. He's a 9/11 vet. Thanks for your service, G Master. But yeah, like I did when I first was dealing with being paralyzed because I'm a lot better than I was now. I can do more things. I can't like do the stuff that I'll never be able to do again, like ride a bike, swim, ice skate, run, that kind of stuff. I'll probably never be able to do again. But as far as like moving different ways and like stronger and stuff like that, I'm a lot better than I was. But um, yeah, I forgot what I was gonna say. See, that's what happens sometimes.
Yep, I do understand that.
Yeah, it's annoying, but yeah, I
It
think.
is.
Oh, I was saying talking to people about it. I did sign up because they suggested that I do that. I signed up for some like groups or whatever, paralyzed people, some stuff like that, and I it for me it just didn't help. But I think for other people it does help. So I try to do things like that sometimes so that I can be helpful, but it doesn't help me. And I want to be encouraging to other people to let them know, like, yeah, you can get better. You got to work at it. Because I was paralyzed. Like, I could not move parts of my body at all. I couldn't feel them.
Isn't
My,
that the weirdest feeling in the world?
it's the scariest feeling, but I couldn't
Yes.
fly. So,
I agree.
um, yeah. So I that and with surgery, I know that's probably pretty crazy for you because I know some people have brain surgeries while they're awake.
Yeah,
And
I've actually had a couple of those.
being able
My
to see, but just totally being paralyzed, crazy.
Well, I actually, the funny thing about it is, I actually ask my doctors or my surgeons to take video
Yeah.
or like picture for me, and I've received multiple, I mean, pictures and videos from you know the doctors and I mean, it's been awesome, and that has allowed me to actually tell my story to other people because people are visual, and I
Right.
like to, because I'm visual, so I like to show people, hey, listen, this is what I went through. If I can make it through this, so can you. And if
That's
I
tough.
can and I'm sorry, if I can continue to help someone despite the things that I am unable to do
Mhm.
physically, if I can find a way to achieve helping that one person, if I can do that, so can you, no matter your
Yeah.
disability.
No, for sure. I think that's great. I think that might be the key to you helping yourself mentally and emotionally getting through what you're going through. That probably is a great thing for you to do. You could probably, I mean, it doesn't have to be YouTube, but you could probably make an IG or Twitter or whatever you want to do, TikTok, because you don't have to talk so much. You could put some words down there, put the video, and then just keep putting that stuff out. That stuff is encouraging more than people know. I was the opposite. I didn't want any pictures of me. And I love taking pictures. I really do. And I like being in, one or two pictures with my friends or whatever. But I didn't want any pictures of me looking like jacked up. I was swollen. I was, and I felt weird. Like my face was weird, and I just didn't like it. I was very uncomfortable. So for a few months, I was kind of jacked up, and I don't think I have. I might have like one or two pictures back then of
Wow.
me because I was the opposite. I didn't want any pictures. I didn't want any of this, that, and the other. Now I have pictures. Like I got pictures of when before and after when I went and had surgery and like the blood transfusion crap because I got to deal with that junk too. It's pretty crazy, but I would like to help like veterans and some homeless people, but for me it's like there's a safety concern because some homeless people are not always what's the word? They're not always like mentally there.
Yeah.
And sometimes they might think you're like, say, if I wanted to just walk up to homeless people and give them food, sometimes they think you're gonna like hurt them and stuff like that because they gotta protect themselves out there. It's like wild wild west. So
This dog eat dog world.
yeah, yeah. So I do like that kind of stuff. We should
Yeah,
we should do more stuff like that
my
for definitely for veterans.
my passion for it started with veterans because I have veterans in my family, and most of my circle are veterans.
Hmm.
And my homeless endeavor actually started when one of my dearest friends, went homeless, and I put him up in my mother's house for a couple of months until he found a place to actually live. And just watching him go through what he had to go through from that standpoint, from that viewpoint, it changed my thought process, and I was like, you know what, I'm tired of seeing this. Something has to change. Something has
Yeah.
to change. And I have to go back and I have to look. I'm like, I told myself, I said, I don't know how I myself can actually change something. And
Hmm.
then I look back on history and I looked at Dr. Martin Luther King, and I'm like, okay, well, hold up. If that one man can do something and change history and change people's lives for the better, or at least start to change
Hmm.
people's lives for the better, so could I.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, it starts just with one little thing you do, and then sometimes you can ask for help from other people, and sometimes people will just connect you with other people. But Chris Cruz says, I volunteer a lot with veteran groups and I find it helps me more than helps them. I mean, yeah, that's great. Let's see.
That's all.
This is a long comment. Let's see what this says. I went, John Cano says, I went to a survival school to test myself. Uh oh. It was 45 days and led up to 7 days, knife only, and the clothes on my back. No food or water. I made it, but was really tough, but rewarding. I just wanted to
Oh,
see if I could do it.
I would love to do that.
That's great. So, John Cano, I would not just let, no thanks.
Oh,
I
I
also
would
have
love that.
Raynaud's. I have Raynaud's syndrome, which is poor circulation to my hands, my lips, parts of my face, my fingertips, and my feet. So like it might not be cold outside, but if I feel cold, like my hands will get white, and then my fingertips will get like especially like this part,
Mhm.
like there, it'll get white there, and there's like no blood there. Even if you squeeze it, there's no blood, and it's so painful. So
Oh
like
wow.
there's certain things I just can't do. Like I can't be out in the wilderness with a knife and no food and no water. It's not going to work for me. I'm going to pass out somewhere, and then the show is going to be over.
I would just love the peace and quiet.
I told you I'm a city girl. I need to hear the ambulance and the noise. But John Cano, you said something about the VA said you're unemployable. Is that because you're disabled? Like, do you mind sharing in the comments? Also, I want to know if his name is Kano. I'm always messing with Daniel about the pronunciation of people's names because he's a little wild with it,
Man,
you know?
he pronounces names like crazy, but I
Yeah,
think it's hilarious.
yeah. I mean, I
I
do
love it.
too, but not like if it was my name and he called me like Liana, I'd be like, what the heck, you know?
Oh, oh yeah. Doghouse.
So I see John Cano. I see you comment a lot. Um, what were you disabled like in combat, or were you born disabled? Like what do you mind sharing what your disability is? Cano. Is it like short A or long A? That's what I want to know. Because he
No.
put CA hyphen NO. That
Yeah.
still could be, could be
Huh.
Kano, could be Cano,
Yeah.
Kano. I don't know. But yeah, let's see. Yeah, because I know that there's a lot of people out there that are not really disabled and make it disability, and that like whizzes me off.
Yeah. I do agree with that.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I know a few, and then people come up to me. They're like, "Oh, blah blah blah," and I'm like, "Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I don't have disability. I was actually denied when I was paralyzed. Like I was only paralyzed for a few months, but after that, it was like, what? They're like, oh, you got to do this and that, and I couldn't do any of it. And they were like, okay, well, there's no reason to continue. This what's it called? See, I'm forgetting a word. This doctor's visit, we'll say. The exam, that's what they said. And I was like, okay. But then I was denied, and I was like, whatever. So I don't know, maybe one day I'll get a lawyer and then they'll give me back pay from a really long time ago, and I'll add it on to the Vulcan money.
I know that. Right. Put it to good
That'll
use.
be hmm?
I said put it to good use.
Oh yeah, I do a lot of I used to work a lot with like local charities years ago. I used to bake and stuff for them and do little fundraisers and stuff like that. So that was cool. And over the years I've worked with church, with the youth group, with the kids, and I help them. I teach there. And if there's other things they need, I'll help out with that. So that's my way of giving back. And sometimes there's been things like in the community when we lived like in the city, we could do things. There was like some cleanup and stuff like that, and donating stuff. But over here, life is a little different, so I haven't been able to not really do anything. But we have time. Plus, we've been pretty busy with YouTube. But yeah, what so if you were to talk to someone right now and you would give them a little bit of advice about them dealing with their disability, if they were dealing with depression, what what would you say to them?
Don't give up. Keep fighting.
Mm,
Always remember that are there's someone in your corner, even when you can't see them. And if you decide to proceed with your initial thought, think of the people before you do it. Think of the people that you are going to hurt,
Yeah.
because that is the main reason. And I still have the suicidal attempt scars and everything, from when I tried to slip my wrists. I've taken pills. I mean, I've taken Lortabs, a whole bottle of 150 Lortabs, and
Mm.
by the grace of God, I'm still here.
Yeah.
But the only thing that kept me going is to think of the people that I would hurt if I
Hmm.
did this. Always remember, you are stronger than you think.
Yeah, that's for
Continue to
sure.
fight and never give up.
Yeah. Good words. I like that. And I think that's important too. Like I personally believe in God and he helps me through everything. But if you are out there struggling, anybody, like lean on your family and friends for sure. Find a support group because that's helpful too. But, think about whoever the higher power you believe in. That spirituality and that connection that can give you strength that you didn't know you had.
That could
That
keep
will
you
help you,
grounded.
yeah, keep you grounded and help you get through things that you just can't get through by yourself or people can't help you with. So yeah, people, remember that. That's those are some good words. If I was talking to anybody, I'm not usually the best when it comes to feelings and and stuff like that. I'm pretty much like drill sergeant when it comes to that. I'm like, lock it up, get it done, bang it out. But if I had to talk to someone, I would try to soften it up a bit, and I would say to you guys, yeah, get God or get someone, maybe even a spiritual leader who could connect you to that, and help you get through that. Because yeah, you don't want to take yourself out of a situation in life, like you're there for other people, your parents, your family, your siblings, friends. You don't want to take yourself away from all
No,
that, but definitely get help if you need to. But let me, John, I think it's Kano. He said he's got some comments here. 8 years infantry, two knee replacements, degenerative disc disease. I'm right there with you, except for I have not had surgery yet. I do need knee replacement. I'm one of those people who's going to wait to see if my bones start grinding. But also, I want to see if I can use like stem cells or something. We did harvest one of my sons. Let's see what else he says. John Cano also says, I did well up until 2010. At that point, I was getting around on crutches. I'm a warrior and keep fighting. I refuse to let my disabilities define me.
there you go.
100%, man. I
There you
tell you,
go.
I think we do have such a big problem with identity um, in our world, in our society. I am Leona. That's my name. But what I deal with is being handicapped and up. You know, you always got to slide that in there. But yeah, like that's not me. Like I'm not disabled. I'm a person who has been disabled, but I'm a person, and I do a lot.
Agree.
I do things. I cook. I have friends, and I'm a sounding board for a lot of my friends too. So that's good to hear that there's other people who have that same sentiment. Um, OBZ, he said he meant to put not in there, so thank God you're not, or you're very good at not hurting yourself. So that was a nice thing. Oh, look, it's Daniel
Oh,
Prado. I
what's
know
up,
that guy.
Daniel?
Yeah, hey. But yeah, it's good to hear that you didn't hurt yourself and you got through it, and that you're listening to other people and helping them. If that helps you take your mind off of the bad things you're going through, cool. But I think you still should take the videos and the images, the pictures that you have, and like start to put some like little 5 second, 10-second stories. Make shorts because shorts good. When you put a short out there, everybody sees it like 1,000 times. So you don't even have to put all these graphics or anything in there, man. You could put one picture up, put some words at the bottom, like especially encouraging words, and be like, "Yo, I went through this. I made it. Still here. Boom." Put that like fist emoji up there, like And
Hashtag
that's,
blessed.
yeah, because I think that's a key for you personally. Because I mean, I don't know you personally, but my personal opinion is that that
I'm
might
laughing
be
back here because you sound just like Daniel. For
what?
you,
Oh,
it helps for you.
I've never heard anybody say that I sound like him.
That is so funny. I mean, I am cracking up back here. That is so
Okay.
funny.
But yeah, well, because I had to make sure you knew it wasn't like, whatever. It's not for me. But yeah, I do think you should use that stuff. That's probably one of the keys that's going to help you continue to move forward. Because you might be in the middle of it right now, or you might be a little bit past it. But if you keep going and helping others, I think that it seems like that's what helps you is
Y-
by helping others. And there's a lot of people that way. So I feel the same way. I don't help people in my current situation, like with the disabilities and stuff, but I help people in other situations, like kids and, with people who talk to me about how they're feeling and their stress, depression. I have a friend who was talking to me about that. And, at first I was like, look, I'm not the one to talk about that because I can't help you with that, like go find somebody
My
better.
friends, my friends
But
call me
now I
Dr.
just
Phil.
listen. Your friends what?
My friends call me Dr. Phil.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, my friends don't call me that, but they
They're always
definitely,
calling me to help them with their problems because
yeah.
they know that I am going to be there for you.
Yeah, that's good. But don't forget about yourself. Like that's definitely a thing. But
I'm always on the back burner.
well, yeah. Well, now we're all gonna call you out because we know. Don't abuse yourself while you're helping other people. You
Well,
gotta.
it's just that's who I am. I can be sick as a dog and someone that I care about can also be sick, and I will literally forget about my illness and turn to them and say, "Hey, listen, let me help you out."
Yeah. But
Because
if you think of it
I don't
this
feel
way, if
I
you
just
go over there, let's just say, right, you have pneumonia and your friend has a cold, and you go over there and you bring them soup, and then you pass out and you're not breathing at your friend's house. It's no good. You can't do that. I mean, I get what you're saying because I'm very similar, but you have to also remember that when you're trying to help people so much, you can hurt them if you end up getting sick or hurt while they're around. It's like now they got to deal with you being hurt, you being sick, and then on top of that, they got to deal with like blaming themselves. Like, was this my fault? What if I never told him? What if I didn't call him? So I definitely am all for you helping people, but also making sure that you take yourself into consideration too, especially if you know that you've got your own problems with what you're dealing with. You might look good, but you want to feel good too, and you might not feel great. I'm cool with that. Oh, you're out. He left, guys. I don't think he liked what I was saying. Just joking. I'll see if he comes back. But it's been a pretty productive conversation, guys. I think that there's a bunch of us living with disabilities, and we didn't even know. Like a lot of you guys don't know my story that I have a cane. I walk around like that because I don't, you don't see it. Oh, there he is. He's coming back. Hold on. We got to give him a minute. He's not connected fully. But yeah, like, so I think we need to be encouraging, listen to one another, and just remember, like, we don't know what people are going through. Hey, wise choice. You're right there.
yeah, my phone literally just cut off. I'm
I
sorry
thought you
about
got
that,
mad at
guys.
me and you didn't like what I was saying.
No, 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 not at all. My phone literally just cut off.
Yeah. Let's see. We did get a couple of comments while we were talking. Oh, Chris Cruz. Man, I love that guy. So, Chris, I'm gonna say some things. Don't get too sensitive about it. So at first, we don't know how old Chris Cruz is. He's like and his background's all black. Sometimes if he's wearing a black shirt, it looks like his head's floating around. But I love this guy. He says stuff. He's funny. He's cool. He's very considerate and thoughtful. But like with all the white hair, you can't tell how old he is. And he has like hair on his face. I think, Chris, one of these days you should shave so you can see how young you really look. Because he's the same age as a few of the guys, like Odinato. He's only like a couple of years older than Diano. And who else? Pride. Pride is like 50. So yeah, they're all pretty much in the same age group. But someone was saying something about Chris Cruz's age, but I'm like, that guy's pretty cool. I don't think he's that old. I think he just has white hair, you know. But I like him. He's a cool guy. He's very knowledgeable. He's smart,
Yeah, he's awesome.
and he's like funny. He's very supportive as well. There, yeah, Peanut Butter. He's another one. Peanut Butter's the same age. So yeah, I think it's really just we got to get Chris Cruz to shave the beard. You don't have to keep it shaved, but let's see your face. You know what I'm saying? See what the skin looks like.
That's funny. I actually
Yeah,
like him. I actually like him with the beard. Actually, it looks good.
I like the beard. I just want to see what his face looks like. You know, because I'm nosy. I'm not gonna lie. I'm nosy sometimes. Oh, John Kano. He's 54. Peanut Butter, whose real name is Terry. He's 54 as well. And then I think Odonado is 53, I think, or 52. Yeah, John Kano saying, thanks, brother. OBZ saying to you, wise choice, make sure you find time for yourself because not everybody else will. And John Kano saying, always remember to have a plan to be here. God, self, family. That's good. That's an order. Um, yeah, that's good. Uh, aw, you guys are so cool. Look how sentimental everybody is. John Kano saying each of us needs all of us. Very good.
Chris Cruz.
Mellifella.
I look like a baby without it.
Yeah. See, we need to see the baby face. I knew it. I
Oh,
knew it. I knew it.
it's time to see the baby face. He shouldn't have said that. It's
Yeah,
time to
come
see the baby
on.
face.
I'm gonna have to make a live, and I gotta tell everybody there's gonna be a vote. Everything. All right,
Oh my god,
Mellifella.
we need to put up some some safe food for him
Yeah,
to do that. That'd be awesome.
yeah. No, he only wants Bitcoin.
Oh yeah, Bitcoin Maxi.
Yeah. Oh, we appreciate you too, Mellifella.
Yes,
I
we do.
try to be a very community supportive person. Like if somebody puts out a video and I see it, I try to go and support them. I like them. I put a heart on everybody's videos if I see them. Um, but yeah, I think that's cool. I'm older than all these young pups. See what I'm saying? He
Wisdom,
cracks me up. Oh,
wisdom.
nice. Look what Daniel said. If you shave, Chris, come on Mrs. Worldwide's channel for the reveal.
Oh, that would be so awesome, Chris. You have to do it now.
Oh, I'll go. I'll go live stream simultaneously with you if you shave. And Morgan can do it because she's her birthday's the day before mine. So yeah, let's do it, Chris. I'll have to hit you up in on Discord. I've been. By the way, guys, this is what my other channel is, but I'm going to start messaging and friend requesting people. It really is me, Mrs. Worldwide, on there. I don't think there's another one. There's no numbers behind, you know, Mrs. Worldwide or whatever. Oh, he shaved for charity? All right, cool. Are we going to have to make a charity for this? Is that what you're saying? Maybe we could do Hendrix charity and Chris can shave for that. Maybe. Something to think about.
Sounds good.
All right, so wise choice. How are you feeling now that you've been on live with me and talking about our disabilities?
Like a weight has been lifted off of my shoulders. You are literally the first person that has successfully gotten me to talk about my disabilities. I
Nice.
feel great.
I have another question. I'm glad that you feel great, and I'm glad that you feel that the big weight being having been lifted. Um, but the real question is, do you feel handicapped and hot?
Well, I do feel handicapped, but not hot.
Well,
I'm
now that you
more of
got your new stuff, you know, your new equipment.
I'm
No?
more of handicapped and well rounded. I'm in shape because round is a shape, but so I'm handicapped and well rounded.
All right, we gotta think of something else for you, man. Hmm. Well, I mean, you can still be hot. It's for me, it's not really that physical. It's a little physical, but not that physical. I don't know. Maybe we gotta
Handicapped and
bling you some.
brainy.
Hmm.
Handicapped and brainy.
Handicapped and brainy. You heard it here first, guys. Wise choice money is handicapped and round.
Well rounded.
Well rounded. Okay, yeah. All right, so let's see what these guys are saying in the comments. Daniel Prado says that now there's going to be 50 Mrs.
There
Worldwides.
can only be one.
You got it. Peanut Butter says at Handicapped and Hot, I think I'm going to start a Wednesday slot for my live, 5 to 7 if it works out, called Crypto Martial Arts and Peanut Butter. All right.
All right
I'm
now.
good with that.
I like that.
Chris Cruz, what'd you say?
I like that.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Maybe I'll make a clip and I'll put it out there. Let's see. Chris Cruz says I would do it for him. He's talking about um, Hendrix or Hendrick. So yeah, we should get that together. Oh look, it's Greek. He's been on a few of my lives before. He's a very supportive guy.
Never fear, the Greek is here.
Yeah, he's cool. There's Mela being supportive again. This again is why I love this community. And OBZ said, I really appreciate you guys being so honest with the community. It really shows people how tight we really all are. And then we got Dano, really excited to see his work wife, Greek.
Oh my God, I cannot. The Greek, the Greek and Daniel's sons were on a live together. That was amazing.
The Greek and Daniel's sons.
Yes.
What? Where was I?
When they both shaved, they looked so young.
Oh gosh, huh?
Their sons did a wonderful live.
Yeah, yeah. I'm also a little slow when it comes to jokes, so I was thinking like, first of all, I didn't know Greek had a kid, and then I was like, what? My kids are on? Like, no, okay, I get it now.
Greek, Greek's kid is in the making. It's in the process. He just has to,
Yeah,
sign a couple of contracts first.
yeah. Well, I'm sure maybe more than a contract. What is this guy talking about? All right. John Kano said, Mrs. Worldwide, you and DP are awesome. Thanks. So are you, wise choice. Um, Greek is handicapped in Greek. I don't know about that. We might not claim him. I mean, Greek, you're cool, but you're not part of this crew. And that's probably for the best. We have a record, world record. We have 13 viewers. Very nice. I guess that's a lot for me.
Well, that's my all-time high because this is my first live.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. Way to
Yeah.
go.
I don't think that is my highest. I think my highest is when I put out my why I'm handicapped and hot video. That one I think I have more, but I'm not sure. Greek is awesome. He helped me a bunch with my node. Yeah, for sure. Oh, and then Malafella remembers when they shaved. Yeah, Greek. I mean, the beard is nice, but I think you look a lot younger, and people can see your face without the beard. So I would just like keep it like a tighter trim because your face looks like bigger with all of the beard. So like maybe keep it a little tighter, maybe like Chris Cruz's.
As long
But
as
yeah,
he's
I like
wearing
that
white.
when they'll change it up a little bit here and there. Yeah.
As long as he's wearing white, right?
No, for Chris or Greek.
Daniel.
Yeah, he needs to just wear it sometimes, not all the time, because he does. He has like a bunch of blue shirts, a bunch of like all different shades of red. He's a lot of red and blue, which I don't mind because I do like the whole Superman thing, and he has that Superman S curl and the widow's peak. But he looks good in white too, so there's that. I don't like the black hoodies. I like white hoodies on him, but that's my thing. So yeah, I think this was pretty good. And I think that we could probably do this again. Then we have some other rando comments here. Greek, take the advice and you might get a Mrs. Greek. Listen, if I had more friends that were single, I would totally hook Greek up.
I actually have a couple of friends who are single.
Better
And,
girls?
oh, a lot. That's
Oh,
basically that's my circle. I hang with women, period.
I'm the opposite. Well, I don't hang anymore, but I have a few guys that I still hang out with. But yeah, girls don't generally like me. So yeah, that's my life. That's a whole nother live though. Yeah, let's see. I like Daniel in red. So dreamy in red. Oh my gosh, these guys and their bromance is out of
Oh,
control.
wow, this is awesome.
But yeah, so you gotta come on. Maybe um we'll do a little love connection live for the Greek with some of your friends since you have them. I have
So,
the girls that I
celebrity
have not
date
seen.
night.
Date night. Yeah, we could do a date night. Crypto date night. I like the alliteration, so I need to figure out how it's gonna sound good, you know. But yeah, let's think about that. All right, so I think it's an hour and 24 minutes. I think this has been a very good live. I'm glad you feel better after having spoken about your disabilities. And I feel like more comfortable because I did another live, you know, and there are people to talk to in the comments. That's always good. Um, but yeah, I don't feel better. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I still feel the same in that aspect, but I still have to deal with my stuff. Like I feel uncomfortable sometimes if I'm on my phone and I'm doing background for Daniel. I like people are typing so fast. I can't type with my fingers on my phone that fast. And like I hit things sometimes. So I'm like, oh my gosh. If I'm on the computer, I'm better with that. But I do feel a little uncomfortable about that sometimes. And you're a fast typer, by the way. I was like, this guy's a beast. What the heck? You were like in the
Really?
Discord, in the DM. I was like, he's out of control. I can't even keep up. But it's
I,
cool.
I'm
So
I'm
yeah.
used to the old Nokia phone where you have to press one button 3 and 4 times to get to to get to the right letter. So my
Yeah.
my fingers move.
Before I used to like with my thumb, I was an out of control maniac. I was like all the things, you know. So Dano, but I can't anymore. Like now, even if I had a Nokia, which I did in when I graduated,
Those
uh,
are awesome. You could drop
yeah,
them
I
off
was
a
a
two
beast.
story building and they wouldn't break.
Yeah. Yeah, I had someone who broke mine because he was just a savage. But any other time it dropped, it was fine. But yeah, Dano says it's time for the rundown. So I'm gonna read the names, but I don't have music because Khan is working for my. He's working on my music and what do you call it? So wise choice. You're gonna have to you're gonna have to do some beatboxing or something. He's out again. All right, let's see. What do we have here? I'm gonna go up to the top and all right, Malafello is here. We had me, I was here. Chris Cruz. We have Chris Cruz again. I'm not gonna click on everybody's names. Just act like there's music in the background, guys. Clap it up. Jason Hayes was here. John Kano was here. We had I Love Peanut Butter and Crypto, whose name is really Terry, guys. He was here. Um, breaking news.
I got my Vulcan Air shirt. It
Woohoo!
just got here.
Nice. It smells like
Boom
vinegar.
shaka taka laka. You knew it was gonna happen. There it is.
It smells like vinegar. Like they freshly dyed this.
Yeah.
That's what
It
they
does
use.
it
They
does
use
have a
vinegar to dye clothes.
freaking Fowler.
Yeah. You dipped out again, so I was doing a little rundown. Wise choice.
Yeah. Something's going on with my phone. I don't know what's going on.
It happens. It happens. It happens to the best of us. All right. So we had peanut butter. He was here. Chris Cruz. We went over him, and then John Kano. We did him. I told everybody to pretend there's music in the background. OBZ was here, and who else? G Master 5001 was here.
Nice.
And Daniel Prado worldwide.
Nice.
You see how he's all loud in the background? I would never do that to you guys when he's on. All right, I think that's it. Let me see. Yeah, that's it. Oh, and then the Greek. The Greek was here. Hey, Greek. And then obviously Wise Choice was here. It was not bad today, guys. Thanks. And Fowler, he'll be on in an hour. We'll be there in the background. And then maybe Daniel will pop on with his Vulcan Air shirt. All right. Thanks for being on, Wise Choice. And
Thanks for having me.
yeah, and I'll hit you up if we're gonna do this again. Thanks
Sounds
everybody
good.
for watching. I'm Leona, and I'm handicapped and hot. I will see you